So we're going to watch Gaston today, and Gaston has really visual magic. And for me, this holds a special place in my heart because when these came out, these were sort of these quote unquote underground DVDs that had all these cool tricks on them. And as a guy working in magic, the funny thing about these, and they were video cassettes when they first hit the streets, we could never keep them in stock. They just kept on selling out. And eventually at some point I was like, all right, what's all this underground stuff about? And I, started watching them, and there's just some fun stuff. And if you don't know this guy, if you haven't encountered him, it's just going to be a wonderful surprise, and you're just going to have fun today. Some really cool magic. I think the best thing we can do. Sorry, go ahead.
I said he's a talented dude.
He's a talented dude. He's definitely a talented dude.
This is what I love about this show. This is like what it's all about. I've never heard of him before. And I'm just going to go on this amazing journey here for half an hour and learn and see some magician I've never seen before. It's probably going to blow my mind.
I think you're going to have fun, man.
Yep.
I think it's
and what's more fun than that?
It's going to be good. Well, let's just check out this first one, and we'll talk about it. When
yes, let's reconvene and we'll decide, afterwards if we still feel that's true.
I like your style.
I like it.
Withhold judgment, because that way you can save the judgment for later when you really need it.
Oh, wait a second. Go back.
Go back.
That was a good effect.
Yeah, there was something amazing.
We can't hear him either.
Like in 1 second.
And you see, incidentally, more in favor of the power of the Browy reversal, my friends. You'll see it.
Yeah, it comes up.
You can do.
Now, is there no audio?
There's no audio.
No audio.
Is it? Mira.
Gosh, that was... Whoa.
Mira, amigos. Was that the
whole
whole
in the booth?
That was great.
No. That's just the intro.
What's going on in the booth?
All right. I feel like I feel like I'm definitely...
Here we go.
Box for this, so let's...
Yeah.
Really bad.
Is that a full deck reversal?
No, the card box
I'm
vanish.
going to use the Jokers, so let me just get them. I find it over here.
I remember him when he was a boy.
These two Jokers will help me to do this trick. Let me just get a quick shuffle. There we are. And I will make 3 selections, so please select one card you want, and please select any card you like. It's important you to remember the card and to show it to the camera. There you are. Now give me your card. Your name is? Your name?
Elias.
And your name? Marcela. Okay. Now I will put this 3 selections somewhere here in the pack, and as I told you before, I'm not going to do anything. These 2 jokers will help me. So let me just make some cats. And Herman, please think in your card. Only think. Don't give me a clue, because I'm going to shoot invisible. Watch. The card's spinning like a helicopter over the room, but when you name your card, the magic will happen. What was your card?
4 of clubs.
The 4 of clubs, because in the middle of the joker, there's 1 card, and this should be first select the 4 of clubs. But we have 2 more selections. We have your selections and your selection, right? So think in the color first. Think in the color. Now think in the number. Watch, because when I blow the jokers, one of them changes into the 4 of diamonds. This is your selection, and maybe into the Queen of Hearts. Your selection, and that will be a nice trick to continue.
I mean, it's okay.
It's just okay. Look at this guy.
It's okay. Yeah, obviously, I absolutely love that. That embodies everything I love about magic right there.
Yeah, it's a good little routine and a good surprise. Like usually with the sandwich trick, you're expecting a sandwich is a sandwich is a sandwich, and he sort of turned it on its ear there. It's really good.
Yeah, and I think what he did, and stop me if you think I'm wrong, I think he really made it like a sandwich trick isn't generally thought of as a very visual effect, and he made it incredibly visual and put so much punch to it that it really felt, not just like a card trick, but extremely magical.
Yeah, you're right. Oftentimes it is a slow reveal. Look, there's a card between these.
Yeah,
two cards.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's so. I mean, it was just so like. I know I'm probably the only one that would think like this, but just standing on the side watching that as a spectator, I would feel like I was watching something special.
Oh yeah, when you see
know what
that
I mean?
card pop off the deck and appear between those cards, I mean, there's
Yeah.
no doubt that you're in the presence of someone that has skill with cards.
Exactly. That's when everybody looks to each other and goes, "This guy's good."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's so good. Love it.
What can I say? It's beautiful stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's beautiful visual magic. I need to recuse myself, you know, beyond that. You know, I'm a big proponent of mixing both of those types of things, right? I, for one, feel like the audience tends to watch you more carefully when you do the mysterious stuff, if there's been some of that stuff that gets them twinkling beforehand. It's just, Steve, I've seldom heard it said as well as Steve just said it. When you're doing the magic at a certain point, when they seem to have the secret idea, you know, and whisper to their friends, "Oh yeah, I was totally wrong about that. Man, this is the real shit," you know.
Yeah, this isn't that one with the 3 piles. No, this isn't.
Yeah. This
guy's the real deal.
Everyone,
that one. I don't know.
It's like they take ownership of it, right? In the moment, they're looking at it skeptically, and then they go, you know, this is the real thing.
Yeah.
This guy's way better than I thought, man.
This guy might be good.
It's like, you know how it's like someone was at the Magic Castle, they saw a real magician once, and they, you know, and this is what they're coming in with. So instead of the "I've never seen magic and I don't care, I've only seen it and it's cheesy" frame, they're coming in with, "Well, I saw a guy once who did this thing, and this guy ain't that guy." But then you get that going, and they go, "Well, this guy's a little bit more like that guy."
Yeah, more than I thought. I didn't really give him credit.
Closer to that. Yeah, maybe we should, you know, sit through the whole pitch, right? I'll tell you what,
get the condo.
As a sleight of hand artist, you got to bless anyone who will. When you say to the camera people, "How would it be if we shot me from directly above?" I have a feeling Gaston knows the producer. Let me just say, because in this case, the producer said, "I can do that, Gaston. I am Gaston." And Gaston said, "Thanks, buddy." Because that right there is the angles you want if you want to do that kind of thing in front of a camera. Mm-hmm. The reason I say it, friends, is because certain kinds of visual card magic and things work differently on screen than they do in real life. And in real life, you're using attention management so that no one feels like they see anything. Now, whether or not there was anything to see, who can say, because they didn't see anything. The camera works a little differently. No matter where the camera is, it's impossible for a human eyeball to be exactly how the camera is. Camera's only got one eyeball. Camera isn't like in a head, doing its own thing in relationship to a neck and a head. There's a ball and a side, you know, it's a whole thing that's different. And so one of the easiest ways to sort of make none of that an issue is to have sort of I don't know, we should create a word for that, Alex, like the red velvet cake camera angle. You know what I mean?
It's pretty rare that we see that camera angle. And in this case, I think it was really for that very first effect that we couldn't really see because the footage was sort of blurry. But that one was the only one that I think really benefited from that camera angle. The rest of it, I think you could probably watch from straight on and still get the same view that we were.
I think you could watch from straight on and get it on the first one, but all I'm saying is it goes a lot easier on the performer to get that effect in that way. You know what this
is, I think that it's the right shot for doing that effect. Otherwise, if you're not getting that directly above, I agree. Leave it out. Leave that effect out.
But just for the record, you know, I mean, I guess I first met Gaston, I'm showing my age now, close to 25 years ago. And that's why I'm laughing, because I remember this kid, Gaston, that I met my first run around the world. And I'm saying, "Oh, he looked so much younger then." And then I look in the mirror and I go, "Ah!" You know, so I see what happens, right? But the point being is he's a great magician. And there's no doubt that he could make that color change, is the name for that moment, look every bit as beautiful in person. It's just managing your video shoot is the complex beast.
That's right. You want that longevity. You want people to remember that the effect is supposed to look like this. And what better way than to get that camera angle right? I'm with you. Well, let's get into this next one. This is great. This is another show of skill. Many of you will be familiar with the very beginning of this, and then you'll see it goes in a direction that it may be something you're familiar with, but he really took it and made it his own. It's really something. This is really good. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Now, let's do something with the most powerful cards in the deck. For example, the aces. For example, there's one, the ace of clubs, the clubs one. There's two, the spades. Now, there's three diamonds. And what's the last one? Is the eight of the eight of diamonds. Three aces. Oh, I'm a magician, so let me just handle this out. There we are. There we are. Now, just square this up. Just put this out there. And you know that in my hand sometimes I have some invisible dust. For example, yeah, I think you can see something there. Watch if I just approach it there. Oh, there it is. It's a king. The first king is called the king of spades. But it's only one. I need all four kings of that. Okay, four kings, four aces. Let me do an illusion with these 8 cards and the card case. Yeah, the card case. And Marcela, we have 8 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4 kings and 4 aces. What do you prefer, kings or aces? What do you? The kings. Okay, I'll put the aces in the table. The kings inside the case for safekeeping. Let's put it over there. And watch the first ace. The world famous ace of hearts is the first one. So if for some strange reason I wave the case over and ace up like this, the first king 12 from the case to my hand. It's the first. It's the first. Let me just check the second one. A little bit more bizarre. Watch this. The clubs, you gotta wave 1, twice, and the third time there it is. The second king. Now the third. What's the third ace? Third ace, the ace of spades. Turn over. Snap, and I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 kings. Wow. The trouble from the whoa, that's not all, because if I take the kings and I snap it to the case, they trouble again to the case and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Because the kings were always on the case. But watch, I got it open. Very clearly take them out. And there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 kings. Because the aces were always on the table. That's it, yes.
Great. That's one of the cleanest handlings of reset that I've seen. It's just really great. And it's all handled just through putting things down on the table, and it's very, very clean. I mean, he had a couple of those really heavy moves, like that one where he does the waves his hand over. That was pretty good, huh?
That would knock you over.
Loved it. And then that pop out move at the beginning to do those productions. He misses on the fourth one, and it's so good, huh?
I mean, it's unbelievable. Really good. Very visual, Yeah,
exactly.
And importantly, very effortless looking.
Yes. It's almost like he doesn't care that it's visual, right? It's like an afterthought.
What we just saw there is significantly difficult.
Agreed.
Would you say?
Agreed.
And he made it look effortless. So, that's what it's supposed to look like.
It's interesting, right? I don't feel, maybe I was missing something, but the sleights and the moves he did in those do not have a reputation for being particularly difficult sleights, but the tempo, and I'm sure there's analogs to this in guitars, the tempo, to be able to move from each one in that beautiful Latin rhythm requires a great deal of skill. You know what I mean? I mean, none of the sleights are 10-year sleights, but doing any kind of magic where you are moving from sleight to effect to effect to effect in that visual sort of tempo and pace, that requires a great deal of skill no matter what kind of sleights you're doing. I mean, I don't know, maybe I missed a few of the changes because I'm got my little notes here, but was there anything in there that was uberly difficult, Alex? Individual?
Just that one visual change where he's holding the card and he waves his hand over it, right? That's a pretty
on the table too.
Yeah, but that was in the production, right? So that was in reset proper when he did that one change. The rest were just, in my opinion, stylistic changes that cleaned up a lot of the rough edges. And it's obviously built on what Paul Harris did and even Earl Nelson. It's taking those two giants standing on their shoulders and looking at it from a new perspective to be able to iron out a couple more wrinkles, basically. But yeah, really, really a beautiful take on reset, I think. And you're right, man. I mean, you got to have confidence in your skill to be able to make it look so effortless when you're effortlessly moving from thing to thing like that. Like that pop out move sequence in the beginning, That's pretty hard. That's pretty hard, but he makes it look like it's just happening. Like he has nothing to do with it. And that's, that just speaks to the how skillful he really is. It's really, really great. Great to be able to see this.
I always ask this: how old is this footage? Like, what year?
This is like mid 90s. Like probably around 94, 95 would be my guess, is when this was released. And there's actually there's maybe a 5-year period where we're getting this. You'll see that there's some other stuff that's a little bit later than the stuff that we're seeing now that's mixed in here. So it's mid 90s ish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get into this next one. And this next one is actually in 2 parts, but I chopped it into pieces so that we could see one effect and then the other. And you'll see that when we play the footage. But the first one, this is just sort of again, another little beautiful visual thing that you're going to love. It's a take on an old trick that you may have even seen in the back room or live here at CC. Aaron has a wonderful take on this trick, and Gaston has a completely different take. But this is really cool, really cool.
Okay, actually, I think 52 playing cards. You know them, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to tell about. Now, please shuffle the cards. Give it a good shuffle so you don't think that I have a special order or something weird. You got it? That's great, that's great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 predictions. Here's 1, and you will see why. Here's 2, and 1 more. Let me see, where is it? Yes. 1 more prediction I need. Okay, perfect, here it is. Watch, exactly 3 cards, 1, 2, 3. Now, what you're going to do with the deck is you're going to take the deck in your hand, take it in your hand, okay? En tu mano, muy bien. And I'm going to take these cards right here. What I want you to do, it's begin dealing cards in the table, one by one, yes. When you feel something, a vibration or anything, just stop dealing, okay? Stop dealing. Ready? Are you sure? This card? Okay, let me see what you got. Oh, you won't believe it. That's good. A queen, just a queen. And my other 3 predictions, look. No more, no less than the other 3 queens. I knew that. So we have the 4 queens here. Let's try something with the queens. And so we have the 4 queens.
So the next clip picks up right there now that he has the 4 queens. But that's Discrepancy City prediction. That's his handling of that. And it's, I think, pretty great, man. It's very clean, and it eliminates the discrepant moments that are in Bannon's trick, I think, in a lot of ways. It's really good.
We were looking at that Frank Garcia trick the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And the setup of that Frank Garcia trick, the setup is Discrepancy City setup. There's a wonderful plot line there, which is that I've got 3 cards out, but I only need one of them to be right. And it's just this beautiful idea. The idea, if I take out, say I got this card, but you don't know, and I take it out as Black King, and I say, look, there's only 1 card that matches, and you take out the other Black King, right? That's called a matching trick. There's a whole chapter of those in Carl Full's Self-Working Card Magic. Matching tricks tend to suck. We've talked about this a lot. We love them because they're 1 deck tricks, right? But audiences don't see, like, far be it. When you show an audience this was your prediction and they pick this one, it's actually much more impossible than it reads to an audience. They do not perceive the impossibility of it, even though it's just a fair 26. We've talked a lot about how if you make that prediction, have them pick it out of the blue deck, when they see the 2 queens of spades, boom, even though the effect is very similar, the impact is much closer to what we want. The Bannon idea, and I really think it is Bannon's idea, Alex, is this idea of I'm taking out 3 predictions. I only need 1 to be right. Now, when you take out the queen that matches, and one of yours matches, and then the other ones match, you have that. I don't know if it's as strong as having just 2 queens of clubs, but it certainly takes that mate problem and makes it for a very, very clean thing. So sometimes, and this is, I think, what you're getting at, it's fun just to take out 3 cards and then use the very best force you know how to use to have an impossible selection of that only 1 card that matches, which is sort of the Discrepancy City concept without the method.
without
right?
the method, right? Exactly. Yeah.
And Gaston is clearly a big fan of the many different things you can access once you have four of a kind in play, you know? And so I can see that he's always looking for what to do with that. And I think it's a great direction to go down.
Yeah. And this one has a very pleasing impromptu nature to it as well, which I thought was pretty good. Like a lot of times it feels like it's when you're getting into the setup of these types of effects, sometimes it feels like it's a little bit too much. And his is literally shuffled back. It's pretty great, right? It ends up being, rather than it being the four queens, it's whatever you arrive at through the system, but small trade-off, but pretty great. But now that he has, in this case, the four queens, he does something with the four queens that I've never really seen anybody else do. This looks more like a coin trick to me, but he's doing it with cards. So let's check out this. This is pretty cool.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the four queens here. Let's try something with the queens. And have you ever heard of card portation?
Oh yeah.
Of transportation, yes, you heard that, right? So let's try something with this four cards. I need you. Can you put your hand palm up, if you would, please? Now watch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the cards here, and they will travel from your hand to my hand over here. Watch in 1 second. That's the first one. Hey, that was fast. And this is the first card. Thanks. You can leave your hand. Now 3 in my hand, and I'm going to try it again. Okay. Now this time for your watch. Really slowly from here, invisible and the other side. Comes together 2 and 2 queens to go. Okay. 2. Now let's try it again. This time, let's make it watch. Cross from here. Oh, and the third one with my hands crossed. So we got 3 that already traveled, and the last one. Watch the last one. Maybe it's more difficult because you know what I'm going to do. So watch. If I just place it here, and okay, you don't trust me, right? No. So put your hands here, just one hand here, and what you're going to do is you're going to press my hand. Just press my hand. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. Nothing here, please. Check there. Check it. Yeah, should be there. 1, 2, 3, and the last one. Oh, 4. Where it came from? I don't know, but here we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 queens.
That's pretty fun.
It's so interesting, right? Because it is a card trick, and it's an old card trick, but the aesthetic feels a little coinish.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's doing it in a way that feels like how it looks when they do it with coins, right? I mean, that's kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It looked great, man. That second card just got me, right?
Totally. I thought he was doing something different than he was. I had to go and look to find out what the truth was, because he got me on a couple of those. I was like, yeah, great. And then the last one, he's got like that the Amar thing where it's like the coin appears from the air, right? The card just appears from the air. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I love it.
That's absolutely wonderful.
So speaking of coins, this next one is actually just a suite of like 3-4 effects. It's a short little clip, but we'll get a real good taste of the kind of coin magic that Gaston does. So buckle up.
Incidentally, he's a really nice guy.
Thank you. I'm paying.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you anyway for coming. Now watch. If I take this, do you see what is it? It's an invisible coin. Actually, you cannot see it because it's invisible. Watch. If I place it in the center of my hand, like this. Turns into a coin. Now watch, from one coin, if you know how to, you can make, for example, from 1, let's go over here, you can make 2. Now watch again. From 2 you can make 3, and from 3 one more, 4 coins. And no, yeah, get loose. Give me a applause, come on. No, it's all right. Now I discover that if I take the 4 coins and place them in the 4 corners of the mat and change their places, something weird happens. Now watch. Just have to change their places, and the first one becomes invisible. Watch the second one. Same thing as the first one, becomes invisible. Watch the third one like this, and becomes invisible. And watch the last one, because makes the other 3 appear. That was cool, right? That was cool. Now let's try something different. Do you have a business card with you? I think you have. You showed me before. That's great. What do you do for a living?
I'm a graphic designer.
All right, graphic designer. It's a 9 here. Now watch. If I take, let's use a business card and this 4 coins over here. If I take the first one, okay, and place it in my hand, just a tiny snap, look, and the coin becomes invisible again. Now watch again. Watch the second one, like the first one, like that, and the second coin becomes invisible. Watch the third. Still in my hand, still in my hand. Now watch, just a tiny snap again. There. And the third one disappear. Yeah, check it out because this one is really, really interesting. If I take it here, on my fingertips, place it in my hand, blow. It's completely gone, but it just takes a second because here you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 coins in the same position like this. Sorry, that was pretty good.
Steve, I just made up my mind. Would you reach out to Gaston and ask him if he'll come give us a lecture?
I certainly will try.
Tell him I've said please. I think we would enjoy an evening with him very much.
I mean, he embodies everything.
He's got great energy. He's got great.
Yeah, it's a great vibe. I mean, I'm telling you, the vibe is so much to do with it. And
his vibe has always been just positive.
I was just gonna say it's just real positive and fun and just like, I love when he goes, "That was pretty good." I love that.
I remember being like a grumpy old man when I was like 22. Alex remembers, and running into Gaston at like a magic convention, and he was just so nice, and so sweet. And I was like, God, I hate those guys.
Oh, I know.
Why are they so nice?
Yeah.
He's fulfilled. He does magic for people all the time. What's wrong?
Probably a Hufflepuff.
You guys watch that show, Ted Lasso?
I've only heard it's wonderful. I've heard it's wonderful.
They have an imported Argentinian, I think, soccer star who comes to England, and he's totally like Gaston. He's everything is beautiful. Everything is love and beautiful. And it's just, the English just want to kill him.
Right. It's tough when you're around someone like that sometimes, huh? you're not in the right mindset. That could rub you the wrong way.
It can. There's so much abundance.
Exactly.
What a wonderful guy. Beautiful coin suite. You want to
let's do a couple more. There's just 2 more, and let's wrap this up because I want you guys to see these last 2 tricks. This next one is just a super visual thing. And it's just an in the hands thing that will just make your eyes pop. It did me for sure. I think this is really cool.
Let's try something different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dribble cards like this. You say stop anytime you like, okay? Say stop anytime. Here, sure. Look at the card. Let's show it to the camera. That's fantastic. And also the same thing with you, okay? What I want you to do is just take any card you like. Anyone. Take it out, yeah, anyone. That's very good. Show it to the camera. Show it to me. Ready? Okay. That's good. I'm going to place it around the middle. Yes, around here. And really goes into the middle. Ooh, really goes inside. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 2 cards. Okay? Going to take 2 cards out. And, yeah, why not? 1 is this one. And 2. 2 cards. No? No? I didn't say that there were going to be selections. I just say 2 cards. That's what I said. Why? Because if you look at the 8, nothing happens. If you look at the ace, nothing happens. But if you look at both cards at the same time, well, both cards change in a flashy manner. You didn't realize it was the card, right? That exactly was.
In a flashy manner.
4 and the 3 o'clock.
Gaston has been, we always forget when we're seeing such beautiful magic that this is, his second language. Gaston's doing this in his second language, and you never even think about it until, you hear hiccups, which are unavoidable because his magic is so good. He's so personable and so eminently sociable. There's no sense that he's having any difficulty, quite the opposite, communicating with his audience. Right?
It's a good illusion. There's one point where in this collection where he's like out on the street and he starts doing magic and, he's like, English, please, trying to shoot a video, right? Like, and you just forget because the illusion's so strong that he's speaking English the whole time. You assume that he's just an English speaker, but it's his second language, man. It makes it all that much more impressive. in my
And
opinion.
Yeah.
when he has to speak as nearly as much as Americans probably think. That's the thing. Like they teach you in America before you see the world at all. Yeah, they'll speak English where you're going, and then you get to where you're going and you find out that that's absurd.
Totally.
Like, sure, some people can do functional school English, but they're in their country. They don't have to. They don't want to. They want to do their language, just like you listening to this. If you know, it's the old joke. What do you call a person who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you call a person who speaks 2 languages? They're bilingual. What do you call a person who speaks 1 language? An American. You know, it's always, you know, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. But
Unfortunately, that might be true.
the point of the matter,
that's why it's funny.
really true. So, you know, it's not like Tamarice or Gaston is walking around, you know, we picture these guys speaking in English because that's the way we've heard them speak, you know.
Right.
Then when
Exactly.
you're with them, well, they'll do their best for you, but the truth is they speak Spanish real fast. They're much faster speakers than you might guess, you know, because it's almost like they've got a throttled collar on when they're talking to Yankees.
Trying
You know
to
what I
keep
mean?
it cool so we'll understand. Totally.
It's very simple. It's all simple. It's all positive. It's all yes, of course. Let's do it. Absolutely. You know, at when, you know, but there's not a lot of tells because we're not entering into topics that bring them up. Do you have one more for us?
Yeah, this last one is really, I think, why he got a lot of attention on the first release that he did. And there were a lot of people that bought this collection just to learn this trick. And it's a wonderful handling of a classic piece. Before we do it, yes.
Where would I go and look up that double impact if I wanted to learn more about it? You know what I mean? On a personal
How about we talk about it? Maybe we can talk about it in the after show. We can get into what's going on there. We'll talk about technique.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that in the after show you're going to be able to do it, but we can definitely talk about the technique.
I promised to run through a secret for Dominique for the kid in the after show. So, all right. Yes, sir.
All right. Good. Sounds good. You're going to love this one, though. This is killer. This is so good.
It's the one that
You will see it for the first time, and maybe you will never see it again because it's very, very special. So special that, can you hold this for a moment? We'll take out the mat, take out the tablecloth, and watch a beautiful table glass. Elias, can you make sure that it's a glass table?
Solid glass.
Solid glass, yeah, very good. Now, I will dribble some cards, and you say stop anytime, okay?
Okay.
Come on.
Stop.
There. Put this over here, and let's see which card you just stop by. Stop in the Jack of Hearts. Very nice card. Jack of Hearts. Can you put your signature there, please?
Yes, of course.
Oh, nice signature. And let's put the Jack on the table over there, and watch. Please put my hand on top. There. Some pressure. And watch. Because one card penetrates, and this should be your Jack of Hearts. Thank you very much.
I like that.
It's good, man. Good. It's really a solid piece of magic. And if you know that you're going to be performing somewhere where there's a glass table, you should learn this trick. It's a good one.